Hello. We are live for today's episode of the Xander Gibb Show. We're just in pre-production mode as we are about to go live to the nation. And we are sharing the links. Had a lot of technical problems, but I think we are getting there. Just making sure we are in pre-production. We are there. Who is that handsome beast? Oh, it is me. Hello to Mike, our early bird. Welcome. We are just in pre-production mode. We're just getting ready to go live for today's edition of the Xander Gibb Show. And we're just sharing and caring and getting ready to go. Just gonna share the YouTube link because I know a lot of people like to watch the show on YouTube. Got some great stuff for you tonight. More commentary, more of this, the stuff that the Xander Gibb Show is made of. Patriotism and love. We're getting there. Just gotta share to a few places so that people know that we are live. So are any of you out there on Parler? Because I just joined that today. And I thought Facebook and Twitter were confusing, but I guess because it's new, it takes a little while, to get used to it. So if you are on there, follow me. My name on there is Boris Karloff. No, I'm joking. It's Xander Gibb, as you would expect, as it is everywhere else. Let's just share this. And then do a little bit of sharing to Facebook. There we go. The Xander Gibb Show commented on my page. We are just sharing the link on Facebook. If you are watching us, feel free to do so. Let's hope that this is a quick thing tonight. And when you want it to be, it never is. Oh, wonderful. So I'm just sharing to pages on Facebook and groups so that people know that we will be live very soon. Oh, yes, indeed. It is okay to be white. If you're not following that group, go and check them out. They have never been more apt as they have of late with all of the things that have been going on. Both sides of the pond, really, all across the world. See, I can't even talk. And I haven't had a drink yet, honestly. Hi to Dave. Don't forget that goats' lives matter. Just thought I'd get in before you did with the goats' lives matter stuff. We are getting there. We are just sharing the show to places. We are getting there. Yes, I saw you too, Dave. I followed you back. Thank you. I tried to set it up several times on the computer, but it wouldn't let me do that because apparently you have to set it up on your phone. And then And then from there, you gotta kind of use it on the computer. But I managed to set it up on my phone, but it seems a little confusing, but I'm sure we will get there. Don't forget to click that all-important share button. We are going to get started in just a few seconds. Just sharing to the last few. There we go. We are done. Make sure the phone is on silent so that we don't get interrupted. We're going to go into opening titles in 5, 4, 3, 2. Cue opening title.
It has been good to me this time around. Things were bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact and I can find no rest. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and eras don't dictate.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Xander Gibb Show, the talk show that really does get you talking on the Xandermonium Network, live from an undisclosed location. And it's not my mother's basement. Bringing you the very best in Patriot broadcasting, 5 nightly, quite rightly. I'm Xander Gibb, because who else would I be? And on today's edition, I get on my soapbox and give you the chance to get on yours too in our phone in. And we break down the day's hottest topics. In part 2, Peter Boykin from Go Right News joins us. You can have your say in the live feed, and as usual, I'll be sharing your comments as we go. You can call us in our phone in. I will give you some more information about that when we get there. You can follow me on all social media, including now, I am a Parlerite, or whatever they call it when you're on Parler. I am parlaying. There you go. That's what they're calling it. Are you parlaying? Parlez-vous parler? And you can also check me out at xandergibb.com. Everything is there that you need. Let's come to the live feed. I was going to try and say that in French, but I can't even summon it. Let's go backwards and say hello to everybody on the live feed. Hello to Mike. Hello to Dave, because goats' lives matter. Hello to Roger. Hi to Chet. Welcome. Hello to CV. Good evening, sir. Dave says, okay, I think I set mine up on my phone. Yeah, but that's obviously referring to Parler. I had to do that before it would, well, I guess it will let me look on my computer now. If it doesn't, there will be trouble. Yes, goats' lives do matter. Hello to my Gina. Welcome to the show. Don't forget to share the show, my Gina, and anybody else who is watching. Chet says, blow me down, but I am not sure why he is saying that. So welcome to Wednesday's edition. No, yes, Wednesday's edition. Is it me, or kind of during this lockdown? Are you forgetting what day it is? I sometimes forget my name because I live alone. Poor Zanny. I live alone, so you know, when you live alone, you don't kind of talk to yourself very often. Unless you're me, of course. You know, I talk to myself all of the time. I think that there's been a lot of harm and damage done to people's mental health during this lockdown. And some areas are still in lockdown in the United States. Take New York City, for instance. This is the thing. Do we continue to have the whole country in lockdown for something that's not as bad as the flu? Or do we, you know, start to get back on with life and try and do something about getting everything working again? Because it's obviously the blue states that are kind of slowing us down. Yeah, I followed you on there already, CV. So some interesting things today. Kellyanne Conway to reporters today, she said, "Are you proud of the way you covered the Russian collusion allegations? Everybody here is proud about the way you covered that." And one reporter said, "I'm not asking you about that." And she replied, "Well, I am. We're allowed to ask questions too. You have to be held accountable also." I kind of go in and out on Kellyanne Conway. I like her, then I'm not so sure, and then I like her again. But yes, good for her. And the other good thing that's a good person, actually, not thing, Kaylee McEnany, I think you pronounced her name. I thought that Sarah Huckabee Sanders was a great press secretary, but this woman is kind of blowing it out of the water. Who is Oprah's father? Chet is saying something about Oprah's father. I don't know who. Kellyanne Conway is Oprah's father. I don't think so. So Tucker Carlson's monologue warning to the GOP and Republican voters: the only political movement that endure are the ones that make their voters stronger. They will not lead us. We know that now. They refuse to. We have led, and when we do, they will follow. Tucker Carlson, on if the Democrats get into power again, he said, in their first year, Democrats will give voting rights to every illegal alien in the United States and then encourage many others to join them from abroad. No Republican will nationally ever again, and we will have one-party rule. Isn't that scary, but true? So if the Democrats get elected, there'll be a one-party system forever. And I think they tried to do it with Barack Hussein or Barack Insane Obama, but it didn't happen. Oh, right, okay. So Chet is saying Kellyanne Conway's husband is an asshole. Yeah, how do you do that? How do you work for the President of the United States as a spokesperson or a counselor or whatever the hell she is, and then have your husband chatting crap about the Donald? It's really kind of not acceptable. Stevie said he's been sharing vids on Parler, but they're shadow banning. Parler is shadow banning? Well, I'm not staying then if they're doing that. That is of worry to me. I thought Parler was supposed to be about free expression, but I guess I won't be staying there very long. Someone else who was got issues with regards to free expression, or doesn't have issues with regards to free expression for her and the Democrats, is Alyssa Milano. I wonder if her middle name is Mint. She got rather shaken today and hit back her hypocrisy regarding her use of blackface after criticizing others for doing it. Hey, assholes! The picture below is me parroting Jersey Shore Snooki's 10. She is a sweetheart, by the way, is worthy of parroting, as is Trump's 10. So go F yourselves with your smear campaign. So wait a minute. It's okay to use blackface if you happen to be a Democrat, but if you're not, it's wrong. So where is the line then with all of this? I think it's a worry. I really do think it's a worry that she thinks that is okay. That wasn't tan, that was blackface. And whether she says it was to pay tribute to Snooki. Who the hell wants to pay tribute to Snooki from Jersey Shore? I mean, gosh, these people. Alyssa she's a moron. I thought you said she's a Mormon for a second, CV. They're not good. Parler is not shadow banning people. Chet says, in Connecticut, they're now hiring teenagers to monitor their citizens and report them if they don't social distance. Wow. I mean, what the hell next? President Trump tweeted today that Biden was asked questions at his so-called press conference, cough, cough, yesterday, where he read the answers from teleprompter. That means he was given the questions just like Crooked Hillary. Never have seen this before. Well, we have, sir, with anyone on the left who has nothing of substance to offer. Isn't it interesting that Crooked Hillary got given the questions? I wonder what this is going to translate to for when they have their debates. That will be interesting to watch because he's not going to be able to have teleprompter for that. Chet says, look at the Governor Northam. They called him a coon man for a reason. Okay. I don't even know who Milano is. I heard of Dr. Milano, who delivered me. Thank you for sharing that, Chet. That is really informative. Now we know who delivers you, and now we know who to blame. I'm joking, of course. Dave says, CV, I was going to say LMAO, that Parla is pretty open-minded. I'm glad, because I thought, why am I on there if they are, behaving like this? I don't call him the president. He's the occupant. He's simply occupying the Oval Office, says Democratic Representative Ayanna Pressley of President Trump as he continues to stoke racial divisions. Well, I don't call her Representative Pressley. I call her, bloody teleprompter, I call her that dumb Democrat bald bitch, race baiter, said Xander Gibb, American conservative broadcaster. There you go. How dare this bald eagle biatch trash my president like this? Who the hell does she think she is? This woman is nothing but a race baiter and should not be in office. And I hope all of these idiots get voted out. Dave says CVOs. I read that already. Chet says that was Northam's nickname in college. Really interesting. I'm not going to tell you what mine was. I'll tell you, it doesn't matter. They used to call me Zandy Pandy, but that's fine because there was a TV show here called Andy Pandy, so they thought that was funny. So when Biden voted for NAFTA in 1993, he admitted he was not an expert on international trade. No way. Before insisting his concerns about job loss from the bad deal were vastly overblown. Now, NAFTA ended up costing 850,000 jobs, but Biden got it wrong then, and he's getting it wrong now. Why are people even considering this man? My teleprompter is laying an egg now and moving far too fast forward. This guy was racist back in the day, was happy to say the N-word in Congress, but he's not a racist, apparently. And also, recently he said, if you vote for Donald Trump, you ain't black, which I think is rather concerning. Chet says, Parler will need an app to get heavy usage. They do have an app, dude. You can download it on your iPhone, on your phone anyway. Dave says he's active on there and will echo posts and like them with other conservatives. Yeah, I've had some real wackadoos follow me already. I'm not going to say who because they might be people that listen to the show. So we got time for some calls. You can call us in the USA on you can call us in the USA on 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. Or if you are in the kingdom that is united, that's the UK to you and I, you can call us on 0208-133-5274. That's 0208-133-5274. Call us now. Where do these idiots get off? Trash talking the president. Hi, Richard. Welcome to the live feed. The thing that really bothers me about this is that, often people will say, what would stop you from supporting the president? And I don't really know because it would have to be something pretty bad because I'm not a single issue supporter. But I do think that people take what they read in the media about President Trump and they kind of just take it as gospel. I would want to check something out before I acted upon it, really. But I guess that's why I'm a conservative, because Democrats, they don't lead, they're led, and unfortunately, they're not just led, but they're brain dead, and it's a shame. Well, that's not fair. Not all of them. We have a call. We'll have a big call. I'm trying to answer that big call. Welcome to the Xander Gibb Show. What is your name and where are you calling from? But your call didn't go through. I know who it is calling. We always have the problem the first time. Oh, I think it's gone through. Welcome back to the show. Just call me Mystic Xander. Is that Mr. Chet Martin from Long Island?
Mr. Xander, I got to tell you, it's amazing how the left stream media still relies on Dr. Fauci.
Yeah.
And puts him up on a pedestal.
Wait.
He's been wrong so many times, Xander.
Yeah.
Why are they giving this guy any kind of credit?
Sorry, do you mean Dr. Fiducci?
Yes, Dr. Fiducci.
Those of you that listened to last night's show.
Good, though.
Yeah, it was. I don't like to do this, but the thing is, at the end of the day, I know what I think and I know what I believe and I know the facts about not everything, but quite a lot of things. And sometimes I have to kick ass, and I don't always enjoy doing that when it's guests. But it educates, shall we say? So what has pissed you off the most today? Is it baldy bitch? Representative Presley, or is it Hillary Clinton? Trying to talk down President Trump on Twitter, or even Barbara Streisand saying she's really got Trump derangement syndrome because every single damn tweet is about the president. I mean, does she want to have relations with him or something? What is she looking for?
Yeah, I don't know what any of them are looking for except to try to bring down our commander-in-chief by any means necessary. And the only one that's really not is Joe Biden, which speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Listen, if that's what they're parading out there, God bless them. I have a feeling that something's going to happen with Joe Biden. We'll see as that time comes forward. But really what got my goat today was reading this article.
No pun intended.
You got that, right? But
I did.
Was reading this article out of NBC Connecticut in which Governor Ned Lamont, who's the lame brain governor in Connecticut, took $2 million out of the, I guess it's a pledge towards coronavirus, or more like it sits there. They just
right.
They use it when they want to for
like
whatever they want.
Slush fund,
and
basically.
And now what they're doing is they've created this job where teenagers will report back if anybody is not following guidelines and social distancing, and then they come and I don't know, maybe they come and get you. I don't understand what happens here, but it's really brown shirty to me.
So how do they know?
Here.
How do they know how reliable these teenagers are? Because I don't know about teenagers that you know, but most of the teenagers I know would, if they're getting $5 a pop for reporting people, they would report even their grandmother for the $5. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess I should specify it. It's graduating seniors and saying teenagers.
Right.
I'm meaning the tail end going in to the workforce. And the main thing is, Xander, I think one of the reasons he created this thing is because jobs are not going to Connecticut right now or New York. Jobs are all going to the states where they're actually working.
Yeah. It's interesting. I spend a lot of time on social media right now, to find stories for the show and find stuff that I want to talk about and comment on. And all of these states that are in the worst possible state, no pun intended, are all blue states. Yeah. And all of the states that are in a worse state after, and during the coronavirus pandemic are all blue states too. So those that are asking for money to help rebuild their state and stuff, they were in the shit before this happened.
Yeah, they were.
So it's not go ahead.
And Xander, they give you these false numbers. They talk about the new cases, and Fauci says, in a week we could have 100,000 new cases coming up. Listen, it is true about the testing. Like you said, it's because more people are getting tested. I worked with somebody that was in contact with somebody that did have the virus. So they went and they asked him to get tested. This was during the first round. He drove all the way out from the east end of Long Island to Queens in order to get a test. So at that time, those tests were not readily available. Now they are. And that's a big difference. It's not only that there's more testing, it's that back then you couldn't get a test anywhere.
Right. Exactly. But the other thing is, and I talked about this guy yesterday, Dr. Carol Sokola. Carol, God, what's his name? His name is, I've lost his name. Dr. Carol Sokola. Yeah, I think that's it. Basically, he has a lot of good stuff to say about this. Hi to Tammy, welcome to the live feed. I think that with the increase in testing, there's going to be more people coming up with corona, and also the fact that they're faking a lot of these tests and saying, oh yeah, it's corona, even when it's not. That's a concern to me. So it's going to kind of pad it out a little as well. Oh no, his name is Carol Sikora, and basically he also said that everybody that has died of the coronavirus would have died this year anyway, because if your immune system is in that bad a state, that an infection like that is going to kill you. Even the flu would have killed you. So there's so much misconception about it, and that's a worry too, because I think the scaremongering that's going on is actually making people think that they're all going to die.
Exactly, and when you see the numbers going up, what should be said is, hey guys, don't worry about it. If you're healthy, you're not going to die. If you're healthy, you can go to work. Maybe they could come up with something where they say, if you have pre-existing conditions, stay home. We're going to help you, but we're not going to help the ones that can go to work. Of course, if you're around the elderly, you'll have to get away or, figure something out. But the bottom line is they're acting like this. The numbers going up is actually ever going to come close to what Fauci predicted. Fauci predicted 2 million. As of right now, it's only 120,000, and those numbers are skewed for what you just said. People are dying. They're in their 80s. They're in their 90s.
Right.
They had cancer. They had a bad immune system. There are other factors that go into that. So all these numbers, you can't rely on them anyway, and the fact of the matter is most people have said if you're in good health, you might not even show symptoms ever.
Right. Absolutely. But it's like the flu. If you get the flu and you're in bad health, that could kill you. Even eating a food that you've never ate before and found out and not even known you're allergic to, you could die instantly from that. So there were no guarantees for any of us with anything. Not that I'm saying that it's okay that anybody ends up dead, because it's not, because all of these people were someone's mother, father, brother, sister, aunt, grandmother, uncle, grandfather, etc., etc. But ultimately, there is this element of scaremongering that's still going on, and it's sad because there are people out there that will believe it. Because if you think that something is going to kill you, you're actually going to end up telling yourself that that's the case. I mean, people can become asymptomatic even when they're not infected with something, which I think is a total worry,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what we see going on with the media right now is they're using COVID-19 as a Trojan horse to put more restrictions on us. If we're going to have kids coming out of high school, Xander, and looking at all of us and making sure that we're keeping our distance, or they're going to call Cuomo or any of the other schmucks up and come and arrest us, we got a big problem. This is like some real Marxist tactics coming to America. And it's sad because I have a lot of people on my social media accounts that I know from high school, the ones that didn't get rid of me over my supporting of Trump, or some of my cousins that got rid of me as well. They hate me. They hope I die now. But,
wow.
The fact of the matter is a lot of the people that I see that aren't in my inner circle political friends like UCV Brian, Julio. The other people that I really don't talk to much anymore are on there like, oh my God, I was out at the supermarket and someone was behind me and they didn't have a mask. And then everybody will kind of come in, and it's like, it really is like, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, or
It is.
It's just so crazy when you look at it and you see the fear that's in them over a condition and a virus that hasn't killed even a quarter of what their genius Dr. Television Fauci, told them that it would.
Hey.
And he's been wrong every time.
Yeah.
Stop
Hey,
listening to him.
It's pronounced Fiduci. Don't forget.
Fiduci.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why is he still in a job? Because, he's in China's pocket. He's in the WHO's pocket. And I think if we looked into his financials, we would find out quite a lot about what is actually going on with him. But I don't trust him or Dr. Birx. I don't feel like they're in Trump's corner, because you see, the thing is that if they're using the information that they disseminate in order to kind of make Trump look bad, then that's concerning for me. But I'm seeing conservatives doing like that too. Like I said about Mike Cernovich, saying, oh, wear a mask, wear an effing mask, wear an effing mask. Mind your effing business, dude, I'm sick of these conservative turncoats. They're enough, Yeah,
well, that's what happens when it's mob mentality,
right,
and someone gets beat over the head over and over again. I don't know if Cernovich really believes that you have to wear a mask, because for a while he was saying that he wasn't wearing a mask. So what happened between then and now to make you say that you are wearing a mask? Because by all intents and purposes, when you weren't wearing the mask, it should have been more dangerous because you weren't able to get the test.
Yeah.
This is what drives me nuts. They constantly contradict themselves, Xander.
They do.
All the time.
And apparently it's about, he said, don't be rude to people, wear a mask. Well, if me not wearing a mask means I'm being rude, then you're going to get the middle finger as well, too, because nobody tells me what to do. I obey the law, and while it's not a law to wear a mask, while it's not a feature of the law, I will not wear one. And the thing is that I'm not buying into this scaremongering, because there's a continuum of scaremongering, and I'm not buying into it, and I'm not pushing it either,
Yeah, no, I agree. And what they're trying to do is, what they're calling this is contact tracing. So they'll be monitoring you through your phone, or through maybe they take your blood, maybe they pump you with a vaccine, maybe they put a chip in your ass.
Yeah.
I don't really know how it's going to come.
Yeah.
But this has been talked about in one great book, and that book's called The Holy Bible.
Yeah.
And these times are described.
Yeah.
If you can't align that to what's said in Revelations, then you have never read Revelations.
No.
All of this is in there, Xander.
I mean,
and you've read it plenty of times.
I think it's apparent we're in the last days, but I don't know how long these last days are going to last,
none of us do.
I don't even think this is.
I see it though.
I don't think this is the tribulation. I think it may be the beginning of it. But I still think we need to fight again, because whatever way you look at this is about good versus evil. In the United States, in the UK, Boris Johnson is doing some stuff here. He's saying that the country is broke. Where the hell is he getting the money from? It wouldn't surprise me if he's in China's pocket too. It does come down to good against evil. It really does.
That guy has disappointed me.
Yeah, me too.
I know I'm across the pond, and I always tried to stick up for him, but he's gone in a weird direction.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I do, and it is actually a worry. And I think that I don't know, guys. If this Bradley kid, I don't know who the hell he is, just block him. Don't give him the attention that he is asking for. I'll actually just report him after the show is over. Don't pay him any attention. That's
a troll.
Sorry?
That's a troll. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, he lives.
Moron.
I think he lives in my town, but he needs to kick up his butt. You know,
That's
I
great.
think that ultimately the scary thing about all of this is what Tucker Carlson, is saying is true. That if we let the Democrats get in once more, hey swoop, we're done. We're doomed. We're doomed in the
Yeah.
United States. But I worry. We elected a conservative here, but I worry might not already be in the same boat with
Yeah, that's what
I might be
I'm
wrong.
kind of. I think a lot of what I've seen going on with him, it certainly paints that. I mean, Boris Johnson just looks like he's going for like globalist policies.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I know his messaging was that was the same kind of in alignment with Donald Trump, but he's not Donald Trump. I mean, I'm going to tell you that right now.
No.
And I hope that he will make some good decisions because you guys need that right now, especially with everything that's going on over there with the increase in the population of people that like goats. I'm just going to say it like that.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of them over there right now, and they're going out and stabbing gay people. That story went away quick.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? And because
Yeah.
the media wanted that to happen. And the thing that concerns me is the guy who was in charge of the opposition, Keir Starmer. He was involved in covering up the Pakistani rape gangs that happened. He pled on their behalf, and that's a concern to me. Is this the best we've got to offer as far as leadership goes? I mean, he's 100 times better than the guy before, but what does that tell you about the guy before?
Yeah, well, that's true. It's like, talking about, Obama and saying, well, these policies are better than Obama's. Well, they are a lot better. Anything would have been better than Obama's. But I am sick of hearing people blame Trump on the division in the United States. It's not Trump, it was Obama. Come on. When did we see Antifa rise to power? When did we see Black Lives Matter rise to power? When did we see the cities starting to get torched and burned down?
Yeah.
That all started happening around 2014 and 2015 when they paid attention to the case with Mike Brown, which was totally twisted by the mainstream media and created into a false narrative as to say that Officer Wilson went up that street and shot him dead in cold blood.
Exactly.
And the people in the neighborhood told the truth, and this is what drives me nuts, Xander. You still hear Pelosi and the rest of them bring Mike Brown up in the discussion. He was attacking Officer Wilson. He was a 6'3" monster, and he was high at the time.
Yeah.
It was not a good look for Mike Brown.
No. So what should the thing is, what should the officer have done in that situation? In all of these examples where people have been killed by the police, it's because they've either tried to resist arrest, tried to grab a weapon, or had a weapon of their own. So my philosophy is, I'm sorry anybody ends up dead. I genuinely am. However, if you get arrested, and I've always had this ideology, if you get arrested and you're not happy with how you're treated, you wait until after it's all over to deal with that. Because if you try to deal with it while this is going on, you actually end up with more problems. So I only have ever been stopped by the cops once in NYC. And it was over with like within 2 minutes because I was polite, I was courteous, and I showed them my PBA card, but I was on my way. But if you start getting cocky with the police and you go for their weapon or you go for your weapon or you attack them and you end up dead, who is to blame for that? Not the police officer, because they're doing their job.
Well, absolutely. And in a lot of these inner city communities, and really with a lot of these stories, too, when you think about Mike Brown, when you think about the guy that was in the Wendy's, and I'm sorry, I can't remember his name now.
Yeah,
but
Rashad.
When he got shot and he grabbed the taser.
Yeah.
You know what? It was the communities that called the police.
Yeah.
The police were called because Mike Brown stole a pack of Tipperillas down the street at a bodega, and it was the community actually, it was the Wendy's employees that called it in that officer for the guy that passed out drunk in the Wendy's drive-thru, and on and on and on
Right.
again. And then when they actually institute some of these horrible laws, it ends up hurting these people too. I mean, think about the fact that it was Governor Cuomo that instituted that law that you couldn't sell a selfie cigarette. You couldn't sell a Lucy cigarette anywhere in Brooklyn, Queens, and it's not really that big of a deal.
No, it's not.
They just are pissed off because they're not getting the tax dollars.
Yeah.
And then that gentleman ended up dead because of de Blasio and Cuomo's laws.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think in that case, there were some mitigating circumstances. I think if you've had dealings with a perp before as a cop and you have another cop with you, you should say, hey, buddy, can you deal with this? Because then he can't say I'm picking on him or whatever. But he didn't do that. And I think that there were real kind of individual circumstances with that. And he shouldn't have ended up dead. I don't want anybody to end up dead because of an altercation with the police, but it is about how you deal with that altercation that ultimately kind of plans that progression of how that altercation goes, that interaction. And if you cooperate, usually you walk away fine.
Yeah, the other thing that concerns me, Xander, is this no chokehold that they're putting on the police right now.
Yeah.
And look, a lot of these individuals ended up dead because of these chokeholds. But there was one, I think it was about a week or a week and a half ago, where the criminal was grabbing the cop's gun. He didn't get it, but the cop put him in a chokehold, and they fired the cop. Now listen, okay, so you instituted a law telling the police that they can't use a chokehold. That changes once the perp starts grabbing your gun.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
It should absolve what that police officer did. And by the way, the guy didn't die; he's alive. But they fired the cop who was on the force for I think like a decade.
Right.
When the guy's grabbing your gun,
exactly.
You're trying to stop him from killing you.
At what price? Protecting yourself and the public. We have to leave it there. I just realized the time because I got to bring my next guest on. But thanks so much for calling us, Chet Martin from Freedom on Deck. Tell people very quickly where they can find you.
Yeah, just go to freedomondeck.com. We're on 3 to 5 Sundays. Xander's usually on with us. That's Eastern Time. You can listen right from freedomondeck.com. And by the way, Xander, the station was just bought up by Fox News. So we don't have to listen to the CBS communist news breaks anymore. It's a little better on that end. So that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for calling in. Chet from Freedom on Deck. I will speak to you very soon, my brother. Thanks a lot.
God bless.
Take care. That was Chet Martin, as I said, from Freedom on Deck. My next guest, however, is Peter Boykin, and he is from Go Right News, and he's going to be calling us any second from the United States of America. Has our little troll friend got bored yet in the live feed? Is he still there giving it large? I know. I saw just before I blocked him that we have some mutual friends in the locality, so I will be mentioning to them about his rudeness. Yes, Fox News. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it does really remain to be seen. I hope you guys get treated okay over there with this changeover. I'm just waiting for my guest to call. He's going to call in any moment now. Yes, Gina, Hussein. That's it. We should remember that. Hussein, Barack Hussein Obama. Isn't it interesting that the first it's a great thing for America that we're getting a black president. But what did he do for the black community? A huge disappointment. Not just for the black community, but for every community. Hi, Shelly, my lovely. I hope you're well. I love and miss you so much, and I hope the twins are doing well and thriving. Chet says anything is better than CBS. Yeah, I can imagine. I can smell I have a chicken in the oven. I can smell it. I'm going to have some chicken after the show. because you can't beat a bit of chicken. What else did I want to tell you? Got some great topics to discuss with my guest when he calls in. He should be calling in any minute now. Can I just say as well, Facebook are kicking people out of the feed. Don't let them win. I'm sorry that they're kicking you out, but it's me that they're attacking, not you. So if they kick you out, please come back. Please enjoy the show. You are all very welcome, apart from little Bradley, who needs a good slap. Yeah, he did create division in the black community. And I can't think of what else he did. And I have to laugh when people say, what a wonderful piece of legislation the Affordable Care Act was. I mean, what a big joke the Affordable Care Act was and is. Because it just wasn't affordable, you know. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Yeah, right. I don't think anybody that had to access it got a good deal from it. Apparently I posted the show in a group erroneously, so I'm sorry for that. It's you know, I'm imperfect, but who cares? Yeah, King Hussein and Big Mike. CV says 1 million people lost their healthcare insurance. Yeah, they did, and those who couldn't afford to pay for their insurance were fined. You know, so that's how ridiculous it is. I'm hoping our guest is gonna call in any second. I'm just gonna check where he is. I hope he hasn't forgotten. CBS News was all Trump bashing. Yeah, I think a lot of these liberal sites are all about it. I mean, I'm surprised CBS have conservative shows. It's interesting that they do. Looks like he's going to call us any minute now to have a little bit of a chat with us. Don't forget to go and check him out. He's Peter Boykin, and he is from Go Right News. You can check him out at gorightnews.com. Yeah, people lost their doctors too. So what was the point of that soundbite saying, you know, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor? What about if you like your president, you can keep your president? I think that's a much better, you know, logo, really. A much better soundbite for 2020. In 2020, if you like your president, you can keep your president. We are just waiting for our guest to call in. We will have to chide him for his lateness. I think another big problem with that was that there was clearly a big payoff for Obama to do that way. No, I don't think so. CV says if you like your Obama, you can keep your Obama. No, we'll pass, thanks. I don't know, it's interesting. But yeah, he did know he was lying when he said that. But he knew he was lying all along. He said he didn't spy on President Trump, but we know that he did. You know, it's a total worry that he would do that, but continues to do so. Just waiting for our next guest to call in. Yeah, same as Fox. I don't really think that Fox has any credibility anymore, especially when they're hiring people like seems we're gonna talk to Peter Boykin via messenger phone if we can get that set up in time. Hello? No, that didn't work either. Well, it's great to have guests that call in on time. Maybe we will just we'll give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll take some more calls. Chet says, and Nancy said to know what's in the bill, you'll have to read it after it was passed. Yeah, isn't that dishonest, you know? If you want to know what's in the bill, you have to pass it first. I'm sorry, we are waiting for our guest to call in. CV says, Obama said the riots in America show a great awakening. No, they don't. They show that the Democrats don't have a hope in hell of winning. And in order to win, they can only do things that are dishonest. So that's what that shows. I think it's hilarious that Deep State Barry and Big Mike are having so much commentary right now, because it's just it's ridiculous. I'm hoping our guest will call us any minute now, and if he doesn't, we are gonna open up the phone lines and give you a chance to call us. Here we go. This should be our guest now, Peter Boykin from Go Right News. Peter Boykin from Go Right News, welcome back to the show. How is the world with you?
It's going.
Good.
It's still turning around. It's going around in a circle, because it's definitely not flat.
Yeah, for sure. I think they worked that out some time ago. So I want to jump right in because we are time bound. So we're getting some feedback there too.
Hold on. All right, go ahead.
So police reclaim their precinct, and at least 23 people were arrested after the mayor finally issues an executive order on riot police to evacuate the zone, which has seen 2 deadly shootings in 3 weeks, and crime rise by 500%. Police have taking on Antifa, and Black Lives Matter is like taking candy from a baby. These cowards look like Democrat-run cities have let them actually take over. So what do you make of this? Is it the first of many? And do you think we're going to be seeing New York shutting down its autonomous zone very quickly?
Well, I hope that, the truth is there's some price about when they said Donald Trump should, they should just let it be and see what happens and get that lesson going. But at the same time, people are like, oh, you should never let your city fall to that. But, these people have to learn. You can be told by your mom over and over again not to touch a hot stove, but you're still going to end up touching that hot stove, and you got to learn. That's how humans learn, even when we're told.
Right.
You got to learn. So, at the end of the day, they learn. Now, what gets me is some of the people that got arrested do those. Now, other than the people, of course, that murdered somebody, but if it's other crimes, I'm pretty sure a lawyer would have a field day because they would say, well, you allowed the zone to happen, so you allowed the crime to happen.
Right.
So how are you now charging for something that you allowed?
Yeah, exactly. Because they've actually let go of law and order to a point where it's just become ridiculous.
Yeah, they stood back and let them do whatever they wanted to do. So how do you now go and say, well, y'all broke some rules? Okay, well, you allowed us to do it. You didn't stop it. You didn't come in and stop it, so you kind of let it happen.
Right.
So, but there'll be lawsuits from the people who are the victims now saying, well, the city allowed it to happen, and why did they let it happen? And then they can start suing the city. It's just a big, big mess.
It is, but do you think it will actually will it serve as a deterrent?
You talking about will it start in other places?
No, will what has happened today serve as a deterrent to other places?
It's possible. It's an example where we can throw up of what happens if you let a city go like that. So maybe other cities might be a deterrent for other cities to let it get like that.
Right.
Maybe not a deterrent for other people to do it.
Right. I think I meant more the latter.
Say, well, we can do it better.
Right.
Test run. Let's do it better. Let's try again.
But clearly, clearly the left is not going to have a problem with this happening because it fits their narrative for it to do so. So I don't see places like New York sending in anybody to stop their autonomous zone. I just don't see it happening.
Well, I can tell you the truth. There's a big thing, and this has kind of happened to me, but I'm kind of getting it resolved now. But there's multiple people, like in my boat, who were facing eviction because of rent and everything because of the coronavirus. Luckily for me, I'm able to move somewhere else, but they were going to kick me out on the curb next week. So I'm level-headed, but think about all the other people who are not level-headed,
Right.
who do not have a plan. Here in North Carolina, our governor claimed that we had 6 months to take care of our bills past the end of the act, which he added 3 more weeks to, but didn't change the act. So now there's people being evicted. I went down to the courthouse today. There was a little old lady there, and she was there because they were going to evict her.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, this is just the start. I looked at the clerk and I said, hey, you're about to get a whole lot of mess going on.
But
I was like,
isn't
you're gonna have a lot of non-level-headed people coming in that you're gonna have to deal with soon.
isn't there a ban on evictions right now?
Well, nah, it isn't. Well, landlords are still finding a way. There was supposed to be a ban on ours, but since the magistrate was open, they allowed it to happen. You've got conflicting rules. And nobody's thinking for it. It's like virtual signaling saying, oh, well, you got 6 months to get caught up with your landlord. But when it comes down to it, the landlord goes to court, gets an order, and then everybody ignores the actual order.
Right.
So, which goes to show that the governor really can't pass these kind of things. He can put it in there as a suggestion, but unless there's anything backing it up, the rest of the city is just going to allow it to happen.
Right.
They're going to do evictions regardless, and that just puts false things in people's head, and people who were thinking about, that are going to have to deal with it. And that's the sad thing, and it's going to be problems. And honestly, I feel bad about, I pray for the sheriffs and the people that have to do these evictions, because I don't know about sheriffs getting killed, but there might be more death by cop.
Right.
Because when you start going to people's possessions and trying to lock them, you're going to have people fighting, and you're going to have problems, and there might be more deaths due to this.
Absolutely, and that's a worry.
And I'm predicting a lot of eviction deaths and riots, and the companies that are renting these places might start getting attacked by these people once they get word. I mean, it's going to be another round of craziness when they start trying to kick people out of their house.
So, do you live in a blue state or a red state?
It's a red state, but most of the time it's purple. But in that county, it's blue. Sadly, well, if the Republicans would get off their ass, if they would get off their butts and start trying to reach out a little bit more and get the undecided vote, we would not be a blue county.
Right.
Because we have so much undecided vote that we could appeal to, but our Republicans, we just don't have enough. We don't have enough active people. And
right.
And those that show up, they concede to the left all the time because they're saying, well, we're already a liberal city. I'm like, well, we're defeated already.
Right.
That's what you feel.
Because quite often, if the state is a conservative, like a Republican state, but a lot of the cities are Democrat cities, you're screwed anyway, aren't you? If you're a conservative living, for conservatives living in New York City, it's a difficulty for them because the state is blue. Where do you go to complain?
The only thing you can really do for me, in my case, I was able to find a local representative that was Republican because in my district, I couldn't really complain to the Democrat that's running my district because he's the one I ran against in the primary. So
right.
the last election, and so that's the last person I want to go and ask to help me.
Yeah, I'm sure. I
I ran against you in the election. Now I'm asking you for help. I don't think I'm going to get any help from them.
No, but that's a concern too, because you're still a citizen of that state or that city, so you should be as equally entitled to help as anybody else. I want to swap topics because we're time bound. The streaming service Hulu has removed an episode of the sitcom The Golden Girls about four female friends in their old age, in which Betty White and Rue McClanahan's characters assume a form of blackface, allegedly. Greeting friends while wearing mud face packs. One says, "This is mud on our faces, we're not really black." In the same episode, characters express disapproval at Scott Jacoby's character's intention to marry an older woman who also happens to be black. This is just the latest in a line of ridiculous changes that are being made to combat perceived racism. Is this ever going to end?
Well, first of all, let me tell you, thank you for being a friend. But if this is the case, they would probably have to change the beginning of the show, because I know they have a short clip at the very beginning of the theme where they're in those masks. Maude is where it came from, and Maude was all about racial relations and stuff. The Jeffersons was about racial relations.
Yeah.
These types of programs in that episode, if anybody would even watch that episode, what it had to do with the fact is that the daughter that was black thought they didn't like her because she was black in the family.
And it wasn't.
It turned out that's not the case.
No.
She was older.
Yes.
And then the mom, the black mom, actually ended up being the racist.
Yeah.
She didn't like the white people. So it teaches a lesson. So to remove these types of episodes actually is taking away life lessons that we had in old sitcoms.
Absolutely.
Older sitcoms, it's like getting rid of the whole Cosby Show just because of Cosby.
Yeah.
You know how much good stuff that was in the Cosby Show? Those types of programs I grew up with.
Me too.
And those taught you good life lessons.
Yeah.
Cartoons at the end of He-Man and stuff used to teach you life lessons. That kind of stuff is not taught in cartoons or shows anymore.
No, it's not.
Now it's all shows about sexual harassment, really.
Yeah. That's actually a great point, because I've not looked at it from the angle. I just looked at it from the perspective of, this is another kind of attempt at pandering. But that really is a great point, Peter. So do you think we're going to just kind of see more of this ridiculous pandering? Or do you think that they'll get to a point where they say, because I love the Golden Girls, I never considered it to be racist or discriminatory in any way. And like you said, it taught us a lot of life lessons. But do you think this is going to continue, or do you think they'll get to the point where they're saying, no, this is enough now. You're not taking away anything else?
I think they're going to get to the point where, they'll say enough is enough, because you're not going to be able to have a series and then cut different episodes out. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
People will start complaining. They'll want the whole series. They'll want to see the unknown episodes. In fact, just pointing these episodes out just makes people want to see them even more.
Exactly.
So, and then when people will look at these episodes and go, what's the problem? And this has gone too far, and that's what's going to happen.
Exactly. And you can get most episodes of the Golden Girls on YouTube anyway, so it's not going to be that difficult. But I think the other thing that Hulu risks is that people will go elsewhere to find these things and go to somewhere they can get to watch these things for free. So it's going to come back to bite them in the butt, I think.
True.
Absolutely. We must leave it there. We are out of time. But thank you for joining us, Peter, and tell people where they can find you, watch the show, find out more about what you're doing.
You can go to GoRightNews.com, and I am now launching GoRightRadio.com. So go there, and you can always find me on Facebook and on Parlay at Peter Boykin, and Telegram as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us again, Peter. Always great to talk to you. Have a great night and stay safe.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, brother. Take care. That was Peter Boykin from Go Right News. Make sure you go and check him out. We are out of time. Gina says she wants live PD to be picked up from another station. Chet says the Golden Girls is a great show, and he never found that episode to be offensive. Me either. And that's it. We are out of time. Not had your fill of the Gibster. You can catch me 5 nights a week, 5 Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 1 in the UK, 12 in Australia. Join us tomorrow for more scintillating chat where Michael Keller and CV Burton from Freedom on Deck will be joining us. Thanks to everyone who's made today's show possible. Even those little people that decided that they wanted to spoil the show. I worked out what it was. I shared it in a local group, and I shouldn't have shared it there. And I am sorry, but I am human. Thanks to Chet for calling in. Chet from Freedom on Deck. We will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. I've been Xander Gibb, and I really do love you all. Bye-bye.
It has been good to me this time around. Things were never bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact, and I can find no rest. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and eras don't dictate.
Click the bell button and subscribe to keep up with the Xander Gibb Show. Oh, yes, sirree.